Okay, so today we're going to talk about writing equations in the real world. And our EQ is how do I write equations from real world problems? And how does the opposite operation help me do this? Okay, question number 1 says the speed limit in front of West Pine Middle School is 15 miles per hour. Let's underline that. That's important. This is half of the speed limit of the major street 1 mile away. What is the speed limit of the major street? Okay. So you need to remember that we're not solving these. We're trying to write the equation that represents this problem. All right. Remember, an equation has an equal sign. So it's going to equal something. Now, we need to ask ourselves, what is the total? What is it equaling? Well, the speed limit is equaling 15 miles per hour. So it equals 15. Now we need to figure out what is the other part of the equation. It says this, so the 15 miles an hour is half of the speed limit of the other major street. So the other major street, we're just going to represent it as x. And then if that is half of it, that means it's x divided by 2 equals 15. Now you guys know from the previous videos how to solve a one-step equation. The opposite of division is multiplication. So if we wanted to figure this out, we would just multiply both sides by 2. And we end up getting x equals 30. Okay, question number 2 says, Caitlin drove 210 miles to visit her grandmother. So that's going to be our total. We're going to set that equal to 210 miles. Because that's how long or how many miles she drove. If she drove at a speed of 35 miles per hour, how many hours did it take Caitlin to drive to her grandmother's? So we have the 35 over on the left-hand side. But what are we doing to that 35? And the x are unknown. It says miles per hour. Think about back when we were writing our expressions. If I said that we had, it cost $1.35 per person, remember we wrote it as $1.35 x. That means $1.35 times x, $1.35 per person. This is going to be 35 miles per hour, gives us a total of 210 miles. And then, of course, we know that the opposite of multiplication is division. So to solve this, we would divide both sides by 35. And you get your answer of x equals 6. Now, you guys don't have to be solving these. I'm just going to solve the first couple. Okay, number 3 says, Bryn has put $40 into her savings account. She has made 5 deposits of the same amount. How much was each deposit? The total is 40, so it equals $40. Now we have to figure out what's on the left-hand side. We have the 5, but what does that mean? What does the 5 deposits of the same amount mean? That means that she puts in some unknown amount the first time, and then she puts in the same unknown amount the second time, plus the same unknown amount the third time, plus the fourth time, plus the fifth time. That means she's putting in 5 unknown amounts, and they're all the same. So we're going to do 5 times x. You can also see that if we were to combine like terms, we have 5 x's. That's the same thing. So it's 5x equals 40, and then to solve that, divide by 5, and you get x equals 8. Okay, this one says Ashley has $39. So again, that's going to be our total, equals 39. She has 8 less than her brother. Now we need to think about what does it mean when we say less than. That means we flip the order. So we have some unknown amount minus 8. Because less than means flip the order, so it's minus 8 at the end, and then the x goes at the front. That's your equation. And then to solve that, you add 8 to both sides. And you get x equals 47. Okay, this one says Miss Lewis is baking chicken, and the cooking time is 40 minutes. So that's going to be our total. It says it's a total of 40 minutes. Which is 4 times the preparation time. How long is the preparation time? So we know we have a 4 over here, and it says it's 4 times the preparation time. So 4 times x gives us 40 minutes. And then to figure out what it is, divide by 4, x equals 10 minutes. That's how long the preparation time is. Okay, this one says Miss Eckhart is buying ham. She wants to divide it into 4-ounce servings for 10 people. What size ham should Miss Eckhart buy? So we don't know what the total is. We need to figure that one out. So this problem's a little different than the rest. It's going to be equal to X. Now, it says she wants to divide it into 4-ounce servings for 10 people. So those 10 people are each going to get 4 ounces. So 10 times 4 is going to give us our total that Miss Eckhart needs to buy. Okay, this one says Miss Massley gave a total of 14 questions of homework. Daniel worked on some of the questions on Monday. He has 6 questions left. How many questions did Daniel complete on Monday? So the total is 14 questions. When Daniel worked on Monday, we don't know how many he worked on, so we're going to represent that as X. And then on top of the questions that he did on Monday, he also had 6 more questions left. Another way to think about this problem is that he had a total of 14 and he already finished some, but he has 6 left. So how would we figure that out? We would figure that out by subtracting to see how many he did. You would do 14 minus 6. But when you're writing equations down, you want to think about what is the opposite operation of how to solve it. Because now when we look at how to solve this problem, we just want to do minus 6 on both sides. And you'll get X equals 8. That's how many questions he completed on Monday. Okay, this problem says that Zayden has 12 chapters to read for Miss Eckhart before Friday. He wants to read the same amount of chapters for the next 4 days. How many chapters should Zayden read each day? Okay, so we know the total of this is 12, so it's going to equal 12. And then it says for 4 days. In order to solve how many chapters he needs to read each day, we're going to divide 12 divided by 4 to get our answer. Well, the opposite of division is multiplication, so we're going to do 4 times X to write our equation. Another way to think about this is 4 days, and he's reading the same each day. There's our clue word. Each, per, all of those mean multiplication, and we're doing 4 times the amount of days, 4x. Now to solve this, we do the opposite of multiplication, which is division, divide by 4, and you see that Zayden should read at least 3 chapters a day. And our last problem says Tatum has a total of $14. So equals 14. This is twice the amount that Chloe has. How much does Chloe have? In order to figure out how much Chloe has, all we're going to do is 14 divided by 2. But the opposite operation of division is multiplication, and that's what we need to do in order to write the equation down. So 2 times X equals 14. Now to solve this, we do divide by 2, and you get X equals 7. If you ever think that you didn't write your equation correctly, just take the extra 30 seconds and solve the equation and see if you get an answer that makes sense. If your answer doesn't make sense, then you probably wrote the wrong operation. You probably just did it backwards, and you can go back and easily fix that. Go ahead and get started on the rest of this worksheet.